Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we are live from the Dirt and Asphalt podcast. We have some really exciting news tonight, man. We have
a great show in store for the fans tonight, Steve. We have
a huge opportunity, not for ourselves, but for everyone watching. We're gonna have Dynamite Mark Dobmeier on the show with us tonight. Little history on Mark, real quick. He has over 200 career sprint car wins. He's won with the Outlaws a few times.
He is the all-time leading feature winner at the River City Speedway in North Dakota, so that's just another feather in his cap for him.
Yes, he also has 14 wins at Knoxville. So, I mean, he's an accomplished driver. And again, this old girl right here was given us by Mark. He's just a big fan. We're excited that we're going to have the opportunity to talk to him in a couple minutes. Also tonight we're going to have Marshall Haynes on the show after our interview with Mark. He owns a page called We Love Sport Compacts.
Great guy.
He's going to have some really exciting news dealing with the sport compact classes. I know what he's going to talk about, and I'm not going to give anything away. So, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for the greatest dirt podcast and asphalt podcast, as far as I know, in the country? Because I am. Alex is. We know Mark's
We're excited.
ready.
We're ready to roll. We're ready to ask some questions tonight.
We actually just got off the phone with Mark. He's getting ready to call us back here in a couple minutes. We are just pumped for this opportunity. Alrighty, so again, Mark Dobmeier is going to be in the house tonight. I don't know about you, Alex. This is
definitely very cool to for Mark to give us 10 or 15, 20 minutes of his time to kind of talk about racing and what his season has held so far, where he feels like they're going forward, and talk about Mark personally. So it's just a great opportunity for you, the fans, for us here at Dirt and Asphalt, to give a guy with Mark's accomplishments and success to give us some time out of his day and an opportunity to talk to him. So we're very grateful and appreciative of that.
Yeah, it's really humbling.
It is. It is. It's very cool.
Because we're out there in the field. We're at Knoxville. With people coming up telling us how much they appreciate what we do. You fans giving us feedback every day. It's a really humbling experience. We're going to keep on growing this.
We appreciate the support. Real quick, too, after you get done listening to this interview, watching this video, don't forget, tonight, the World of Outlaw Sprint Cars are at Fairbury American Legion Speedway in Fairbury, Illinois.
That's right.
So check into Dirt Vision if you would like to check into that after we get done with this interview here. So, like I say, we're going to be on the phone with Mark here in a minute or two. He had to get some things situated real quick with his wife and
kids.
And we're going to give him the green light
and
to also speak his mind.
Also, some other great news we have. We have purchased some lavalier mics so we can have at the track, so we can give you the best quality at track interviews that we can humanly give you. Exciting news is Alex Wanders here is going to be at Topeka this weekend for the NHRA Nationals. He's going to do some pit reporting for us there.
Going to try and get some interviews there. We're going to try and go live from Topeka and show you guys what it's like to be at an NHRA national event. So I'm really excited about that.
Yeah, it's a really cool experience. Also, a reminder of tomorrow night, Southern Iowa Speedway's racing. This weekend, Hamilton County Speedway and Webster City, they're going to be racing Saturday. Great track.
As always, the Knoxville Raceway on Saturday night. All three classes in competition.
And I will be there. I will be there for that.
So Safe will be I'll be reporting from Topeka. Safe will be reporting from Knoxville. We're going to try and get out more in the field and try and get some more at the track material for you guys to see.
It's important for us. So we're going to give Mark a call back right now. So let's get Mark Dobmeier on the line, ladies and gentlemen.
Go ahead, get him on there, Safe.
Hey, reach Mark Dobmeier or leave a message, your name and number.
Okay, that's how we thought that was going to go. So we're going to give Mark a couple minutes here. We don't have any results at the moment because nothing's happened yet.
Not yet.
No, but we are really excited for this weekend, especially with everything that we have now.
Absolutely, big
The
weekend
growing
ahead.
of this channel, the growing of our equipment. Our equipment is a big thing that people don't realize. Having our equipment is a big part of this, and just for us to continue to get the equipment that we have is a big deal. And yeah, I mean, we're excited to have Alex at Topeka. That's a huge event.
It's definitely a
for
fun
us.
time. If you haven't been
Yeah.
to an NHRA national event, you definitely want to go ahead and try and get to one of those. Several in the area. Safe's going to try and get a hold of Mark here real quick. Like Safe said, a lot of racing this weekend. Knoxville Saturday. I believe the NASCAR Cup Series guys are in Michigan, so you can check them out on TV as well. 34 Raceway in Burlington, I believe, is going to try and get a show in this Saturday night, so that'll be good for them. We got the big dynamic dirt duel, dynamic drive lines. Dirt duel is coming up at Stewart Speedway next week, so that's a big show for them.
That is
Something I failed to mention too, the IMCA Dirt Nights Tour is at Marshalltown Speedway tonight. Paying $2,000 win for the modified, so that's really good.
Oh, that's a big race.
500 to win sport mods.
That's a really awesome series that I think gets overlooked sometimes by people.
Lots of good cars. Very good
There's
car
a
count.
lot of good cars in that field. I'm going to see real quick. I saw an interesting post. I can't remember. I know his last name is France, and he races.
Who's that?
Oh, you know what I mean. France. Late models.
Oh, Daryl DeFrance?
Yeah, Daryl.
Is that who you're talking about?
Daryl DeFrance. He won. Let me check out where he won real quick, because I just saw it on Facebook a little bit ago. Oh, he won at Webster City on Saturday night. They must have had a big... Yeah, I forgot they had a big race. Oh, so DeFrance is also racing tonight. It's also his birthday.
Is it?
It is. So shout out to Daryl DeFrance. Happy birthday.
Mm-hmm.
Happy birthday to him. We have a lot of... Oski tomorrow night, I think, is going to be interesting to see what's going to happen with the car count because of the
raise
pay
purse,
raises.
so that's definitely a good thing.
The purse got raised. I think, yeah, we made our predictions.
Yeah, we did.
We made our predictions on that. All that's done. We're going to give... Try again. Mark Dobmeier.
Hello?
Hey, Mark. This is Safe and Alex from the Dirt and Asphalt podcast.
Hey, how we doing, bud?
Hey, good. How are you doing, man?
Pretty good.
Good. Okay, so...
We definitely appreciate your time tonight,
Yeah,
Mark,
thank
too.
you.
Thank you in
Thank you.
advance.
Yeah, no problem at all.
Okay, so, Mark, we were lucky enough to meet you at Knoxville Saturday night. We know that you had a little bit of a rough spot there, but, I mean, I tell you what, I commend you for overcoming that. You drove a heck of a race. You started, 17th or 18th?
Yeah, I don't remember exactly. Somewhere in the back there.
And, I mean,
But
you got up into the top 10. That was incredible.
yeah, it was. I don't know. I'm still disappointed in myself. I made a pretty big mistake in the heat race. I was I don't remember who was in front of me. I think it was Bobby Mintzer or something. But we got going in the heat race, and I just was a little too antsy and trying to get by him, and I kind of misjudged him. And when I was trying to go around the outside, I ended up tagging him in the tail and spun around and tagged the wall and knocked the rear end out of the thing. So my hard-working crew kind of went to work, and we ended up changing the whole rear end drive line, both wings, fitment arm, all kinds of stuff. It ended up wrecking quite a bit of stuff, and we were able to get it ready for the feature and start deep and worked our way up and salvage top 10 out of it, but much easier just to run an okay heat and start in the top 10 and then try to get a top 5 out of it, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
What would you say is the biggest part for you? What's the hardest part, I guess, of running Knoxville?
Oh, that's a pretty easy question for me. The hardest part for me is it's 10 hours away, so
Sure.
for me, a round trip to get to Knoxville and back is 1,400 miles. So,
Wow.
kind of for instance, on Saturday we took off at 6 o'clock. We raced Friday night here in Grand Forks and picked up a win.
Oh, congratulations.
Congrats.
Thank you. And we left at 6 o'clock in the morning, and we literally drive all day long to get to Knoxville. We left at 6 and stopped for fuel once and for some burgers once, and pulled into Knoxville, I think, a little after 4 o'clock on Saturday afternoon.
Definitely a long trip.
And, that's a long trip, Bill, absolutely. What makes it worse is we race, and then we jump back in the truck and drive straight through and go all the way back home. So we were actually back in Grand Forks here about 8:30 on Sunday morning. So.
Oh, wow.
So
it's kind of tough on a guy and tough on the crew because it's such a commitment driving wise, and I mean financially too. It takes a lot of diesel fuel to get down the road and back, and
absolutely.
Thankfully, I got enough sponsors on the car to help me do that, especially with Dammer Trucking and Munster Motorsports and Buffalo Wild Wings. These guys kind of keep us trucking down the road, so to say.
That's awesome. So I want to clarify this. You own your own business, correct?
Correct. Yep. I run 2 businesses up here in Grand Forks.
Okay.
Forks Radiator, which is a auto repair business. We specialize in heating and cooling of vehicles, and then we also do radiator repair.
Wow.
And it's kind of funny you say that because I was actually fixed a radiator for Morris Auto down in Iowa a couple of weeks ago, and I was supposed to bring it with me last weekend, and I forgot. So I
really
sent it out to him today. So
hey, we know how that goes, Mark. No fault there.
Yeah. No, that's awesome because
so I thought that's the only way you can make money sprint car racing is to pick up some radiators and fix them.
Exactly.
So, how hard?
Speaking of
run is I'm sorry, what was that?
No, you're fine, Mark.
No, go ahead.
Okay, the other business I run is actually a bail bond shop in Grand Forks here at an insurance and bail bonds, and it's a business my dad ran for several years, and my grandpa was actually the first bail bond in North Dakota.
Really?
And, yeah.
That's awesome.
It's been a business around a long time, and my dad was going to retire a few years ago, and long story short, his secretary took over his insurance side of it, and then I took over the bail bond side. So, got a couple businesses up here, and a nice family with my beautiful wife Jackie, and a couple kids, Jackson and Ty, and between trying to run 2 businesses and have a lot of friends and go racing, it's a pretty busy schedule.
Definitely sounds like you have your hands full there, Mark.
Yeah, holy cow, talking about a full plate.
Speaking of sprint car racing, Mark, that's kind of where I wanted to lean into my questioning. For fans out there who maybe are wondering, how did you get your start in racing?
Well, my father raced cars, started in like hobby stocks or street class, moved up to late models, moved up to sprint cars, but he ran for roughly almost 30 years of racing. I had the itch from when I was young, and he got me going on all kinds of motorized stuff, scooters and go-karts and whatnot. And he let me start racing go-karts when I was 8, and I ran go-karts from when I was 8 till about 16, 17. Let me fill in a little bit here and there in a full-size sprint car, and I had the burning desire to do that, obviously. And I was kind of an average C student all through high school, and I hit my senior year, and my dad ended up, he was going to be traveling a lot with disabled American veterans, and he gave me an opportunity. He said, if you turn your grades around and get on the honor roll all 4 quarters, I'll let you take over the sprint car full time. And
wow.
I hit the books in my senior year and got on the B honor roll 2 quarters and A honor roll 2 quarters.
Definitely some high motivation there.
Man.
So, absolutely.
So
I got my focus a little bit in the books, and then that got me as a start on a local team basically out here, and we built the local team and started running basically here on the NOSA circuit, and then started getting some success, and then wanted to go further, so we started running Houston Speedway in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, and then started having some success there, and then eventually we kind of made our way to Knoxville, and just kept going as far as we can go and keep it fun, and it's kind of been a little snowball that started tiny and kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and I was just thinking about it 20 years later, here we are still racing, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Had a very successful career, too.
So, looking back on your career and how you started, obviously somewhere in there, you got the nickname Dynamite. How did that come to be?
Well, I think that was just kind of more of a driving style, but there was an announcer by the name of Pat Mooney up here in Grand Forks, and it was only a few years into my racing. I want to say probably, I started in '99 was my first full-time year. Must have been around '02, '03, something like that. I have a I don't know. He came up with a nickname one time. I always seem to come out of nowhere and be in the hunt for the win, or can come from the back and get to the front. And he kind of gave me that nickname, and once he gave that to me, it kind of stuck and never left.
That's awesome.
So Mark, you kind of went through how you got involved in racing, with your whole family background and everything, and obviously you've been a very successful career in a sprint car. What was it about sprint cars that made you decide? Because obviously you were exposed to many different styles of racing, hobby stocks, late models, things like that. What made you decide that you really wanted to drive a sprint car?
I always loved the thrill of it. I always loved the sprint car is obviously the class to watch. That's the open wheel. So there's a good chance of contact and crashing, and yet they got the wings, so you get a lot of downforce, you get a lot of speed. In my eyes, it's the most exciting class to watch. So it's in my eyes, I guess that's the biggest class. That's the one you want to go to, So
Absolutely.
It's also the best class in this area, I guess, is the most premier class in this area that is available to me. So that was my pick.
So going back to how it's so thrilling and bumping wheels and the wings and everything, how do you think that we can keep making the sport safer in your own opinion?
To be honest, I think overall the sport is extremely safe. They've made a lot of safety advances. They've done a lot of things. Some things I think they might have gone a little bit overboard on, but I don't know that you can in safety. But overall, I think they're doing the right thing. Knoxville always keeps a very close eye out for that. I guess my argument to it is I've never got hurt in a sprint car yet, but I've played baseball and broke my skull in 2 spots, so
Really?
it must be safe, right?
There you go,
Exactly.
folks.
So, Mark, obviously this past off season they made a lot of changes. Added more roll bars to the chassis and things like that. And you guys run full containment seats. And as you said, sprint car racing statistically is very safe. Obviously, we had a few tragedies last year in the sport. Obviously, the cars are very safe. Is there something you think out there that a lot of racetracks could do to maybe improve their safety a little bit?
Definitely. I think the cars are kind of where they need to be, or as safe as they can be, really, for the sport that we're into. But there's several racetracks we go to where I've noticed the catch fences obviously aren't up to snuff, and
Right.
there's dangers out there between tractor tires and walls that stick out a little bit or whatnot. But I think the best thing to do is just have everybody analyze their own track and take a peek at their own track, what we do to make this better, make some suggestions, and get everybody across the country doing that, and sooner or later we'll have safer tracks as well,
Right, absolutely. Everybody needs to work together on this.
So talking about you going from different tracks and stuff, what do you think is the toughest track that you've run?
Every track has its own characteristics. Knoxville definitely ranks up there. Over my years, I've been known to be a little stronger on the shorter tracks rather than the big tracks. But for 9 years straight there, I would actually run 3 different racetracks every weekend. I would run Grand Forks on Fridays, Knoxville Saturday, and then Sioux Falls Sunday. So I would get a variety of tracks, and I think that's what's made me a well-rounded driver. I'm jumping from a short track to a big track to a short track to just all over the place. And the more variety of tracks you have, the more well-rounded you are, the better driver you're going to be. So, it's just take every one as it comes,
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, Mark, you've run a lot of mostly 410 in your career, but I'm sure you've run some 360s. Can you kind of explain to us and maybe some of the people out there what the biggest difference is? Obviously, you have a bigger cubic inch motor than the other, but as a driver, what are some of the biggest things that you notice are different between racing a 410 and a 360?
Power is the biggest thing. I've stuck close to the 410 class my entire career. I started in 410s, and I very seldom have run 360s. It's just on a kind of a rare occasion on this or that if there's no 410 stuff going on.
Mm-hmm.
The biggest thing is power. I guess the way I explain it, when I'm sitting in Knoxville and and running a 410, it's just like you're always like right there to the next point instantly. There's not as much time for thinking, and when I'm in a 360, I've been very smooth. I've had a lot of success with 360 in Knoxville, and I don't know. There's just a lot of time for thinking at the day. I feel like I'm on a kind of a skateboard, and I'm kind of coasting along, and I don't know, just more time to analyze it and be smoother at the end of the day.
So is that something that you think fits your driving style more? Obviously, you said you've had more success on the short tracks, and you've raced more on short tracks than maybe like a Knoxville or a big half mile. What do you prefer as a driver?
I prefer short track just because they're it's like it's action packed. It's you're solidly you got to make a move, or you gotta get around this car. You're in a corner or something. There's always action packed. Knoxville's more of a finesse track where you can't be turning that wheel. You scrub off too much speed and you're slow. And,
exactly.
The biggest thing about Knoxville, or the biggest thing for me, is it's just such a challenge. That's the draw to it to me. It's tough to be fast there, so it's such a high challenge for me to get speed there and whatnot. And I guess that's the biggest draw, is just the challenge factor of it for me.
Absolutely.
So when you run at Knoxville, do you feel like there's added pressure when obviously we have the Brownells Big Gun Bash coming up here? Do you feel like that's added pressure when you get Donnie shots, some of these other guys in there? Does it just make you more focused in than just a regular Saturday night at Knoxville?
Oh, definitely. The bar's raised whenever they're there. Just like they're actually Outlaws are coming to my home track here on Friday night, and it's the same situation. The bar's raised. There's definitely more pressure, but at the end of the day, it's just a race, and they have the same race car, and they strap their helmet on the same way. So anybody's beatable. You just got to catch them all, and you got to have your game at 100% and take it as it comes.
Absolutely. Is that something, Mark, that, obviously, you have multiple businesses and you have a family and everything, so maybe that time has passed. Is that something you ever wanted to do in your career, was maybe make a full run with the World of Outlaws or something, or a series like that?
Oh, definitely. When I was younger, that was kind of my dream, what I wanted to do. The opportunities never arose for me to have the chance to do that, so I kind of took the business route, or, just kind of, always been a hard worker my whole life, so I always just had something going. And actually, back to the grade thing, I said when I got on the honor roll 4 quarters, after that I did go to college, and I got a business management degree from the University of North Dakota right in town.
Oh, wow.
Oh, congratulations.
And, the funniest thing is, I went to this business school. The whole time I've been working at this radiator shop in the bond office since I was 14 years old. And when I finished up with that, I'm like, well, what do I do now, And the radiator shop needed a full-time guy, and the guy didn't give me a choice. He said, "You're coming back to work here. I need you." And I'll work with the racing schedule. So
well,
I ended up staying there and eventually taking it over the years. So
that's definitely a feather in your cap. I'm sure there's not too many sprint car drivers that can say they have college education. So
no. Well, another thing is working on radiators and cooling systems. You don't really hear much of that anymore. That's kind of a lost art form in itself.
Yeah, there's definitely few and far between, but I guess the biggest thing that probably keeps my shop going is I diversified. As soon as I took it over, I added complete auto repair to it. So we just do more things to keep us busy all the time and keep a steady flow of business through there. So
what's when you go to these tracks and you run, obviously like Knoxville, obviously things didn't go the way at first. You rebound. When you have all those fans there, do you ever feel like it's sometimes challenging after a rough night to deal with fans, or is that something that helps you out after a night? How does that go for you?
The fans absolutely help me out 100%. I realize number one that if it wasn't for fans, we wouldn't be here. So even if I have a rough night and things don't go as you wanted, just like last Saturday, I shrug it off my shoulders and put a smile on my face, and they actually bring joy to me when they come down, because no matter what happens, they'll always cheer you up, or they're always still wearing your shirt and they're still behind you 100%. So it always boosts your spirits a little bit after the races when the fans come down and get to interact with them.
Definitely.
So with the amount of fans, obviously, I think sprint car racing has grown a lot to the fans. Obviously, Saturday night there was a pretty good sized crowd at Knoxville. With the way the tracks are diversifying, more fans, obviously great drivers like yourself and many others. Where do you see this sport going forward? Do you think it's going to continue to grow, or is it just kind of where it's at and then it's going to get a little bigger?
I think you're going to see a steady growth. We've been getting a lot more. They're televised a lot more. You might not see a lot of fans at the track, but there's still a lot of people at home renting that. The amount of people that watch the races, that can't be there, that are all over the country, is absolutely amazing. And I just see things growing at the end of the day. I think we're doing the right things, and I think the sport's going to be steady growth right now.
What's one thing, Mark, as we were talking about growth in the sport and everything, what's one thing that, drivers, car owners, sponsors, manufacturers, whatever it might be, what's one thing that we need to do to keep the sport growing so it stays healthy?
I think number one is just treat the fans right, because like I said, number one, the fans are what pays our bills and everything, and that's what keeps us all going there. So treat the fans right, and try to put on the best show we can as far as having a good facility when we go there, having a safe facility, and having track prep right, and making everybody feel welcome that we're there at the end of the day. So.
With that being said, Mark, I just have one question here for you. What is one thing you personally, Mark Dobmeier, if you could, or something that you'd like to see, what would you change in sprint car racing?
I think number one is like I said, number one is the purse. I don't know if there's one thing in particular, but at the end of the day, it's a very expensive sport,
right?
And it's tough to keep a team going. I am very fortunate. I have a lot of people on board with me. A lot of people that have been on board with me since the start that are still with me, with my father and Dulster Motorsports, for Dulster Motors up here, Dave Luntzer with Luntzer Motorsports, Todd and Susan LaHaye with Buffalo Wild Wings. I've had so many people come up and help me get through this, because I could never do it with my own. It's just absolutely amazing. So, not to mention the hard-working crew that I got behind me. My crew is all 100% volunteer at the end of the day. So everybody that you see in our crew is basically friends and family, and people that have been with me over the years. And some people have gone, some people have done, come back, and just the amount of support behind it.
Right. Yeah, I don't think people ever realize how expensive of a sport this is. I've been fortunate enough to work a little bit with a 305 team at Knoxville. Alex's dad builds racing motors, and they help out. They do some stuff for Moyle Engines in Knoxville, and so for you with the budget, everything. It's just absolutely incredible that you guys get it done. You make that drive every week. So with that in mind, what are some of your team goals that you have this season?
One show in Grand Forks, so I'm hoping to accomplish that this Friday. See how that goes. Our goal is to run a good race every time we're there, and obviously get some points or anything, so to say. So to have a good solid car every night, day in and day out. So.
Sure. With that said, Mark, obviously those are your goals going forward in 2019 and whatnot. Looking back on your career so far, up to date, what is your biggest accomplishment in sprint car racing, and what are you most proud of what you've done so far?
My probably biggest accomplishment is that I've been racing since 1999. That's 20 years now, and I'm still here racing. I'm still running a lot of shows a year. I'm guessing we're between that 50 to 61. Some of my highlights have definitely been the World of Outlaw shows. I've won 2 of them in Houston, 1 in Wilmont, and then the Freeland night at Knoxville Raceway.
Absolutely.
I don't remember. I'm one of them guys that doesn't keep track of the stats, but we're at 200 and some wins. 200 and some wins anyway. I think we have 13 in Knoxville, but kind of crazy when you sit back and look at it and you actually read some of the numbers, how many races we've actually won. But,
that's
just to be here still and being very competitive. That's kind of my highlights, I guess.
Yeah, you've had a very impressive career, Mark.
Yeah. Well, Mark, we want to thank you for your time. It's been an absolute pleasure being able to have you on here. And one, moving forward, the DNA podcast wants to help you out. We're going to plug you every way we can. Well, I know you have a page, correct, that people can go and look at merchandise and other things, correct?
Absolutely. We're actually readjusting and kind of setting that up right now. You can buy merchandise through R&R Racewear, or we have a new website up and running right now under Mark Dobmeier Racing. And that should be up and running within the next 2 weeks, where you can get apparel and everything off of that as well. We do have a Mark Dobmeier Racing Facebook page as well, where if you message us on that, we can definitely send you out some gear.
Awesome.
We just got a whole new adult gear in, and we've got some kid shirts that are showing up here probably tomorrow. So
That's awesome.
And, has
That's
to be here
great.
by the weekend as well. So all kinds of fresh gear that if you keep an eye on our Facebook stuff, we'll start posting and letting you know what's available.
Definitely.
With that in mind, Mark, I know you've made several references throughout the interview before we let you go. Who are some of the sponsors on your car that you would like to thank for helping you out this year and years past?
Well, I'd like to thank out Buffalo Wild Wings, K-Star Ag Services, Sports Radiator, Munster Motorsports, Dulster Motors, Keller Trucking, Dammer Trucking, DeKalb Seed, and Lean Packaging. Also, Danielle's Cleaning Service as well.
Awesome. Alrighty, Mark. We're going to wrap up the interview right here with you. If you could stay on the phone for just a minute more. Alex, I just want to thank you real quick. One, thank you to the fans that tuned in, listened to this. All of you are just great. Thank you for giving Mark this time to be able to be on here and talk, and for all of you to listen. We appreciate that whole heck of a lot, more than you will ever know. Mark, is there anything else you want to add to the fans real quick?
No, that'd be it. I mean, I'd appreciate you having me on. I appreciate all your fans for coming out and enjoying these races and watching them with us. You guys are the one guys that allow us to go out here and have fun like we do. So
Yeah, awesome.
to see you guys all out there. I won't be at Knoxville this Saturday. We're going to be running the Outlaw Show here in Grand Forks, and then also down in Sauk Rapids, Minnesota for this
sure.
weekend. But the following weekend with the Outlaws, you'll see us in Knoxville again next Friday, the following Friday and Saturday. So
Yeah, we
come
look
on out and say hi, and we all appreciate you guys coming out and supporting the sport.
awesome. Thank you, Mark.
Yep, thanks. Have a good night, Mark.
You bet. Thank you.
Yep, bye.
Bye.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, that was Mark Dobmeier. Up next, I'm waiting for the official word from Marshall Haynes. He's going to be calling in. He has some exciting news from the world of sport compact racing. I know he has a big announcement that he is going to make to us tonight about what's going on in sport compacts. Again, if you are a sprint car fan of any kind, Mark Dobmeier Racing, Facebook, again, he said that. He'll have his webpage up. Check him out. This is another great driver who works his butt off, owning 2 businesses, and then he comes and he does this. I mean, this is just
Yeah, it was really cool that he took the time to give us a kind of
It's
the
humbling.
inside scoop on what is going on in his life, his racing career. Hope to have a lot more guests like that on here in the future. I know Safe is working very, very hard behind the scenes to talk to different guys and get things lined up. And Safe is really kind of the lifeblood of this whole podcast. He just has me on here for kind of for giggles, I suppose.
Oh, I don't know about that. So again, I want to go through some things about Mark here because I know some people are tuning in. We had Mark Dobmeier on the air. This will get posted to YouTube tonight, by the way, people.
Yeah, if you need to follow us, one thing real quick, we're on all social media platforms.
Minus Instagram.
Minus Instagram, yeah.
We
We're
won't do
not
that.
going to do
I'm
no
sorry,
Instagram
we're
bullcrap.
not
No,
doing that.
no.
So real quick, he's the all-time feature winner at River City Speedway. He's from Grand Forks, North Dakota.
North Dakota. Yeah.
Sorry. This man travels over 1,400 miles to come to Saturday Saturday nights at Knoxville. I mean, that just gives me the goosies. I mean, that's commitment.
Save sometimes the things that come out of your mouth.
That's
man. I don't
commitment.
know.
No, I don't care. That is commitment to
14,
to the fans.
14 career wins at the Knoxville Raceway in the 410 division, which I believe, if I read it right, puts him tied for 24th on the all-time win list. So
Yeah, it does.
very impressive for not racing weekly for a while. So.
I mean, this guy's been racing since 1999, and he just puts his heart and soul into it. He has 2 World of Outlaw wins. He won a prelim night at Knoxville.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, to hear and being able to talk to him is great. Again, we can't thank him enough for this side wing. He didn't have to do that. He did it out of his own heart. And being able to come on this show. Real quick update. Marshall's getting ready to call in. Again, he owns the page We Love Sport Compacts. Go ahead and give that page a like. I know that he does all platforms of Sport Compact. Dirt, asphalt, you name it, they cover it. He does a fantastic job with that page, but get out there and support your local track. All right, we have Marshall calling in right now.
Cool, let's get him on the line.
Hello, Marshall. This is Safe and Alex from the Dirt and Asphalt Podcast. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can, boys.
Hey,
Alrighty.
Marshall, how's it going tonight, man?
Good.
Good.
So you own the page We Love Sport Compacts, which is an awesome page, by the way. We love it.
Yep.
So we know you have some exciting news. Why don't you go ahead and share that with us?
Okay. The first big event is going to be July 29th through the 6th of July. And part of it's with the Midwest Madness Tour.
Okay.
And the first track, Shelby County, on Saturday. Then they go to Clay County. The next night, Park Jefferson, South Dakota. The Tuesday night is Stewart.
Okay.
Wednesday, the 3rd, is Buena Vista. Thursday night, July 4th, is Crawford County. And then Friday, there's 2 choices. Their final night with I-80, or our first annual event at CJ Speedway in Columbus Junction. And I'll talk about those 2 events more in a minute. And then Saturday, we wrap up at 34.
Okay.
Marshall, what are some of the details behind some of these events? What are
On ours, there's no fees to run any with us at all. I'm not taking a sanctioning fee at all.
okay?
Oh,
What's the purse? What's it pay to win these events?
It's up to the track.
Okay.
Okay.
It's so like CJ and 34th, their track rules, and they're in charge.
Okay. What else do you got going on, Marshall?
And then the winner of the points, because every night the points are going to count, they get to on September 7th, and it's open to anybody.
So is this like a series that you're running, Marshall? I guess I'm a little bit in the dark on this.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Okay.
It's
Yes,
a-
this is a
What's the name of your series, Marshall?
actually it's Midwest Speed Week, as I'm calling it.
Okay.
But if it all goes well, Texas is next, because a friend of mine, I work with the Texas Sport Compacts group as well.
Okay.
And then the big event, because Super National, it's the week of Super National, but the winner gets a paid entry in the rundown by Ravid Motorsports at Dago Speedway in Texas. And I have details on that, and they're running a regular show that night.
Okay.
Oh,
So is there a points fund for this series of races that you're promoting? Is there?
Yeah.
Okay. What's the
It's
points fund,
basically
Marshall?
It's no cash, but the winner's going to get to the winner, and I'm working on it, is something cool's they're going to receive.
Okay.
Okay. Do you have any idea what that might be?
Once I get from Dippin' Works out of Texas.
And you'll have all this information on your page, We Love Sport Compacts, correct?
Yep.
Okay, so if you guys are out there and you're Sport Compact racers, or you sponsor one, or you're looking to sponsor one, just go ahead and follow Marshall on We Love Sport Compacts. He'll have all your details for you coming up on this series of races, on this points fund, and everything. So that's definitely the page we want you to go ahead and check out.
Yeah, and then the winner, of course, gets their paid spot on that Saturday night event, and it's a modified version of King of the Hill.
Okay.
Okay.
And I got the rule. You buy, anyone can enter it.
Okay, that sounds good.
One,
So, rules package, is this IMCA rules?
yeah,
Okay, IMCA rules for all these
pretty
races.
much.
Okay. What else do you have to add there, Marshall?
I'm getting ready to explain the rules on this
Okay.
modified King of the Hill that night.
Okay.
It's at Big O, Texas, or Big O Speedway in Texas. They're IMCA friendly, and they're having a regular 1,000 to win show that night. And basically, you draw a chip to determine on where you start.
Okay.
But instead of their bracket, the person chooses who they want to race by tapping the bumper.
Okay.
And then lane choice. So basically, you're calling out who you want to race.
Oh, sounds good. Sounds
Well,
cool,
that'd be
man.
cool.
Definitely a different twist on King of the Hill.
Yeah, and I have the rules listed too.
Oh, it sounds perfect. We'll just have everybody come over to your page and check all that out. Hopefully you'll have that all up there for all the Sport Compact racers that follow our show and follow you. And
Yeah, and I know Stuart's not racing tomorrow night, so hopefully a big car count for all.
Yeah, we hope so.
absolutely. They raised the purse here, Marshall. It pays $250 to win in the Sport Compacts now.
Yeah,
So hopefully we get a good field of those along with everybody else. It pays $500 to win the stock cars and sport mods tomorrow night, and I believe $70 to start. So definitely good start money. So we hope to see a big car count out here at the Southern Iowa Speedway tomorrow night.
yeah, I do too.
Yeah, I think we all share that sentiment.
We do. We
Yeah.
do indeed. Alrighty, Marshall. We're going to let you go. We want to thank you again for helping us out. And we're still here to help you out. Everyone watching, again, we love Sport Compacts. Look it up on Facebook. It'll come up. Join that group if you are a Sport Compact fan or a racer of it, because obviously Marshall's putting a lot of time in.
A lot of effort, a lot of work.
A lot of effort and a lot of time to help that series out of cars. So you go check that page out. I know Marshall would appreciate it. We would appreciate it. The Sport Compact community definitely appreciates you, Marshall. Thank you for everything you're doing for that series of cars.
Yeah, I'm just a fan like everybody else.
That's
All
awesome.
right, that's good to hear. All right, Marshall, well, thank you for calling in tonight and giving us all that wonderful information on what's going on in the Sport Compact world.
Yep, thanks for letting me be on.
Hey, not a problem. Have a good evening, Marshall.
Bye.
Bye. Alrighty, folks, so you've now heard from Dynamite, Mark Dobmeier tonight, and Marshall Haynes, runner of the one and only We Love Sport Compacts page. Alex, is there anything else you want to add before we wrap it up here on the show?
I just want to thank everybody for tuning in, for liking our page, sharing our post. Like I say, we're going to do a very good job of trying to keep you updated on race results, on events coming up. Like I said, tonight, the World of Outlaws are in Illinois at Fairbury Speedway, so tune into them if you haven't already. IMCA Dirt Modified Tour, Dirt Night Tour. I'm sorry.
You were close. You got
Tonight
it.
at Marshalltown
It's okay.
Speedway, 2,000 to win. Sport Mods are Sport Class Pink 500 to win. I think all weekly classes are in competition, so check them out. I believe they're on IMCA TV tonight if you want to watch that. So tune in. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter. You know, we have it. Safe created a YouTube page the other day for us. We're going to be posting all of our interviews, all of our podcasts on YouTube. So if you want to rewatch or show this to somebody who maybe doesn't have access to Facebook, go ahead, go over there, subscribe to our channel, watch our videos, share them if you can. We just really appreciate all the kind words and support that you guys have given us. Thank you for following us, and hopefully you get out to your local racetracks this weekend. Like we always say on the show, we want to see our sport grow at the local level, national level, all different forms of motorsports. So please just get out and support your local tracks, sponsor them, get your butt in the seats, get your cars to the track, and that's pretty much all I got to say tonight on the show, Save.
Awesome. All I have to say is, again, thank you. this is humbling. This really is humbling for us. It's humbling for us to be able to have guests on this show, being able to call in, talk to them about a sport that we all love. I'm truly passionate about it. I know Alex is. I know you fans are. Obviously, you watch. We want to thank you again. Again, new mics have been purchased for when we are out. Without our computer, without the rest of the equipment, we're just doing this to give you the best quality that we can humanly produce.
Absolutely.
And this is big for both of us.
If you see us at the track and you want to talk, just come over and talk. We'll be more than happy to interview you, give you some airtime.
Yeah, exactly. And I know I'll be at Oski tomorrow night.
I would say most likely I'll be there too.
We'll probably end up there together.
So if you're at Oski, you want to talk, just come on over and give us a shout.
All right, well, that's going to do it for everything here on the Dirt and Asphalt podcast page. And once again, thank you for tuning in. Get your butts in the seat at the track. And as always, stay clean and stay green.